This video is not about credentials or riyat. It's about identifying that there is a very distinct line between the da'i and the alim. Ever since I've joined the online world of da'wah, I came to realize very fast something quite dangerous. The du'at and the ulama had become one big mixed bag. The du'at delving into religious matters way above their pay grade, and the ulama out of humbleness remaining silent, which ultimately has confused the masses and led the many astray. I've always been a firm believer that both play a major role in the advancement of society. The da'i, a conduit between the general public and the alim responsible for the core education of both the general public and the da'i. What you're about to see is an achievement of years, literally at the feet of scholars. The du'at need to be humble enough to say, I cannot show such achievements, so my work is to remind you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enough that you are guided to a scholar, and the ulama, min bab al-amana, and for the sake of masalih and mafasid, need to come out and share their achievements, show the community so they know who is who. I will be the first to start this trend by saying, I cannot show to the level of the great achievements you're about to see, so my work as a da'i is to remind you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enough that you are guided to such ulama, some so close to home, casually residing amongst us. Watch the next video and you will see. I wouldn't do this if it wasn't necessary, and Sheikh Salman's not impressed. But I told him he's got no say in this, there's no option, it's got to happen. And in all honesty, it's only fair that at the very least, the Masjid al-Rahman community that Sheikh Salman leads deserves to know who the imam is. So, I'm blown away, I can't keep up. My head's gonna explode just as is. I'll tell you how this story started. Some time back now, I had personally received my own ijazah from Sheikh Rahman. I personally received my own ijazah from Sheikh Salman in Hadith al-Rahma.
But also 40.
Naam. So after that, I asked Sheikh Salman if he had any more ijazat, because I was trying to gather as many as I can from him before I die. The discussion started. So then I was like, okay, I want to come and have a look at these ijazat. And Allahu Akbar. Watch this. First we have this thing called shahadat. Alright, which, looks okay. What is it? But then, alright, Sheikh. So this is the first one, right? This is the qira'at, right? The qira'at al-sab'. But the video is going to be like 20 minutes if we go through each and every single one of them. But anyway, just to give you an idea, first and foremost, this is the one of the qira'at, right, Sheikh?
Yep.
Anything particular about this one?
Well, nothing much except it's 7 through Shatibiyah.
7 through Shatibiyah, okay.
With our teacher, the amana, especially with Quran. So with Quran, they're very particular, even more particular and stricter when it comes to Quran. You get your ijazah in Quran only when, number one, you memorize the Quran. Number two, you read it from beginning to end. And this is generally the convention. There are some who are a little bit lax, but these are generally the minority amongst the scholars who give ijazah with just a little bit of reading. And generally, with Quran, even those who give it without the whole thing being read, they wouldn't usually give an ijazah unless they know that the person who is reading to them is actually very competent in a recitation. So their recitation is already established. They will test their competency in recitation, and then they may, those who are a little bit lax, without having to read the whole Quran from beginning to end, they may give ijazah to some when they see that competence is adequate. So that's when it comes, that's with ijazahs with the Quran. Unfortunately, it's become a little bit of a, there is a little bit of a commercial aspect to it these days, where some who have received their ijazah from their predecessors, especially with Quran, they're giving out ijazah in Quran to people who are not yet reached that level of competence. That's unfortunate, but
because accessibility is so easy now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And this one is the for riwayat Hafs and Asim. Correct? Now, these next ones, these are the main ones, and there's a whole bunch of them. You know, it's going to take ages to go through all of them, but these are the ones that Allahu Akbar, like it can't even keep up for how much there is in here. Like, and then there's even a whole bunch of them on the laptop as well. But Sheikh, there was some here that we were discussing earlier. There's some that we were discussing earlier that are the shortest chain globally.
Yeah,
Right.
So there are some. So, like for example, there's well-known people. So there's in various countries you have well-known transmitters or well-known proliferators. So, like for example, in the Indian subcontinent, Sheikh Dihlawi is one of those who's well-known, where many of the asanid they go through him. And you find a lot of these asanids scattered in India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, even in the Haram today. So some of your imams of the Haram, I know for a fact, for example, Sheikh Abdul Muhsin al-Qasim, some of his asanid, they go through Sheikh Dihlawi as well. So there's well-known people like that, almost in specific geographical locations, through whom various asanid are kind of scattered in that country. So in Yemen, you have quite a few scholars like that who are well known and whose various asanid scattered in that country through those scholars. For example, Abdul Rahman ibn Sulaiman al-Ahdal. So the Ahdal, like the Ahdal line, basically. In other countries, in Hijaz, basically in Morocco, other places like that, have all those people whose names are well known as people through whom the asanid kind of scattered, because they used to transmit widely, and they had many students who they transmitted to, and so on.
Which is that one that you were telling me before had one of the shortest change to Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani?
Yeah, so through
and then into Bukhari, right?
Yeah, so through Mustafa al-Qudaymi, as a Yemeni scholar. So his, subhanallah, some of his chains are really special, including his links into some of the Yemeni scholars. So his link, to a scholar like Abdul Rahman ibn Sulaiman al-Ahdal is quite short. And then Abdul Rahman ibn Sulaiman al-Ahdal is basically asanid to Imam al-Bukhari as well, through Ibn Hajar, are really short. So and like quite well known as well. So the Yemenis and many others as well from other places, but the Yemenis specifically and the Ahdal line specifically, they had these conventions of trying their best to read those texts in full, and to uphold the transmission of particular text through reading the whole thing. And they were well known for things like having the chain of transmission through hearing or through reading, through formally reading the book, and not just through an ijazah, without reading those texts. So the Ahdal line, generally speaking, they would read like the Kutub al-Sitta, and they had like a habit of reciting these books on a regular basis.
Yeah, so
they would routinely do this, and they would transmit. So it's well known through some chains. They had some books which would be transmitted through what's called musalsal bis-sama', where it's been transmitted through full reading all the way up the chain.
Yeah. So in particular, these ones aren't just handouts.
No, yeah.
They're very, very well detailed. And there was another one as well that you were saying. There's a very popular, very well-known mufti or sheikh somewhere that you've also got an equivalent chain to him, right?
Yeah, so for example, through the Shah Waliullah chain, I have many teachers who go through the Shah Waliullah tradition through his line. But generally speaking, like some of the shorter links through Shah Waliullah, you have around 5 links on average that would be considered a really good short chain. Even through some of the senior mashayikh who are alive today, they would have 5 links between them and a Shah Waliullah. Alhamdulillah, through
okay, 1 sec.
Through one of my teachers, Sheikh Mufti Alauddin rahimahullah, so he's passed away now. Through him, there is he has 4 links between himself and a Shah Waliullah. The same thing with Mufti Rida al-Haq, one of my senior teachers. 4 links between him and Shah Waliullah Dehlawi. So through these 2 teachers, and I'll have to look into whether there are other teachers or not. I haven't, really looked into detail. Are there routes where they link up with a Shah Waliullah with 4 links, which is considered very, very short for our times.
Yeah.
So alhamdulillah, like through these 2 teachers, there are 5 links between myself and Shah Waliullah Dehlawi.
And then there was another one as well that we were looking at earlier, which was where was the one that was also one equivalent to one of the mashayikh of the haram.
So that's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, that one.
So he's also some of the mashayikh of the haram, they have links through a Shah Waliullah Dehlawi. So for example, Sheikh Abdul Muhsin al-Qasim and others, who's obviously ijaza programs and reading of the texts and things are well known in Medina and Mecca and so on. And he's got well-known programs in the haram where many of the students of knowledge there, they go through his program and they go through memorization of these texts and also transmission of these texts as well in the haram. So he's got some of these asaneeds which are quite short as well. I believe from the last one I checked, at least the one the asaneed that he has published and circulated on the internet, I believe he's got 5 or 6 links between himself and a Shah Waliullah Dehlawi. So
yeah, this is just like, I was, in all honesty, I wasn't expecting this. When I said I wanted to, I thought I could come around and have a look at a couple and pick and choose and say, hey Sheikh, can you listen to a few of these and give me some? But this is next level. And in all honesty, this is not about credentials. This is, in all honesty, and he has concreted the thought process more, that I always often say, that there needs to be a very, very clear difference between the da'i and the alim, because ever since I've jumped online recently, I've come to realize that there's a lot of du'at out there, and they're just like wreaking havoc with a lot of the stuff that they're doing, a lot of the stuff that they're saying, and seeing all of this firsthand, like Sheikh, we've been known each other and close for like about 20 years now. And this is the first time I'm laying my eyes on this in 20 years, and I'm just like, can't believe what I see. And just seeing it firsthand has concreted the fact even further that the du'at need to be humble enough to say we are just du'at, and the scholars, the ulama, need to, I think, come out a bit more and say we have authority, to say 1, 2, and 3, because what's happened is there's been a mixture of things.
I got nothing to do.
That's what I'm saying. But there's been a collision of things where no one's able to identify who is who. And I think that's what's really important here. Really important to pick up on and notice. And not only that, Allahu Akbar, we've got like a red gem. And it's like, you don't even have to go to Mecca or Medina or anywhere. It's like, you just gotta go to Gosnell's.
No, got nothing to do with what he just said.
Allahu Akbar, amazing, Allahu Akbar. Can't even keep up all of this stuff here. Look at it, everything there, and more inside. There's like sleeves of it, and more in the back here, and then there's on the computer as well, a whole heap of them. And only imagine, Sheikh, that it's increasing on the daily. Alright? I'm not going to say anything about it. It's increasing on the daily, inshallah. Yep. Necessary, absolutely necessary. Know your place. Jazakallah khair.